Living with an abuser can make life feel like a delicate, fragile, and precarious balancing act. It often feels like you're walking on eggshells, cautiously navigating their volatile moods and potentially explosive outbursts. To lend strength and inspiration during such challenging times, here are 10 powerful quotes about how to deal with abuse. In the beginning of our time together, I was walking on eggshells. Then it became a bed of nails, and then a minefield. I never knew when or what would make him blow, and the anxiety was relentless. The phrase, walking on eggshells, describes the cautious behavior one adopts in a situation or relationship where there's a fear of triggering anger or other negative reactions. It suggests a state of constant vigilance and self-censorship, where even the smallest misstep can lead to a disproportionate response. The progression described by Mariah Carey, from walking on eggshells to a bed of nails and finally a minefield, highlights the escalating level of tension and danger experienced by victims of abuse. The fear of breaking eggshells only strengthens the resolve to walk barefoot. Matshona Deliwayo introduces a twist to this familiar metaphor. The fear of disrupting the precarious balance and triggering the abuser's wrath can be a powerful motivator. Walking barefoot implies a sense of vulnerability but also a commitment to face the harsh realities without any protective buffer. It signifies the courage to confront the painful eggshells, despite the risks involved. In essence, this quote emphasizes the potential for personal growth and resilience even in the face of abuse. It suggests that the experience of living in fear can fuel the determination to break free from the cycle of abuse. When you start walking on eggshells around people, that's when you know that those are people you don't need to be around. Life's too short to pretend to be anyone else. T.M. Frazier makes it clear that if we find ourselves walking on eggshells, then we have to face the fact that we are in a toxic environment, surrounded by people who do not respect or value us. This realization is painful, and yet it is crucial because it can serve as a catalyst for change and self-preservation. The quote underscores the fact that life is fleeting, and spending it in fear and tension is a disservice to ourselves. This is a clear call to honor our true self, and not to compromise it for the sake of appeasing others. Life is full of eggshells. The trick is knowing when to crack them and when to walk around them. Rebecca Donovan introduces a nuanced take on the eggshell metaphor. She suggests that life is inevitably full of challenging situations or people that we must deal with. The key, she posits, lies not in avoiding these eggshells altogether, but in discerning when it's necessary to crack them by confronting these issues directly, and when it's more prudent to walk around them, or choose our battles wisely. In the context of an abusive situation, cracking the eggshells could involve standing up to the abuser, seeking help, or taking steps to break away from the toxic environment. On the other hand, walking around the eggshells implies finding strategies to maintain our safety and sanity within the given circumstances, while planning for a long-term solution. Donovan's quote, therefore, encourages a balanced and strategic approach to dealing with life's challenges. It acknowledges the complexity of abusive situations and emphasizes the importance of careful judgment and courage. Walking on eggshells? I'd rather crush them and make an omelet out of the mess. When we find ourselves walking on eggshells, we are living in constant anxiety and fear, always careful not to provoke the abuser's wrath. However, Rochelle Goodrich's quote challenges this idea by offering an alternative approach. Instead of tiptoeing around the problem, she proposes confronting it head-on. The act of crushing the eggshells symbolizes the decision to no longer bear the burden of someone else's volatility and instead, take decisive action against it. The second part of the quote, make an omelet out of the mess, further amplifies this sentiment of resilience and resourcefulness. An omelet, in this context, can be seen as a symbol of transformation. It emphasizes the power of resilience and the potential for transformation, even in the face of adversity. With help and support, we have the power to crush those eggshells, confront the abuser, and transform the resulting mess into a source of strength and growth. If you're constantly walking on eggshells, maybe it's time to put on some stronger shoes. Instead of endlessly tiptoeing around the abuser, Steve Maraboli advocates for strengthening oneself. The metaphor of putting on stronger shoes involves strategies such as setting up boundaries, seeking professional help, building a support network, or acquiring skills to cope with the situation. This quote emphasizes the importance of self-care and resilience in the face of abuse. It is a call for self-empowerment. While acknowledging the difficulty of living in an abusive environment, it inspires individuals to take control, build their resilience, and seek healthier ways to deal with their situation. After all, it is indeed true that the best response to walking on eggshells is to equip oneself with stronger shoes. I spent so many years walking on eggshells, never doing or saying the right thing. One day I decided I'd had enough and stomped all over them. Those broken eggshells cut me deeply as I walked away, but this was the most beautiful pain I had ever felt. Heaton is sharing a story of courage and emancipation. The act of stomping all over the eggshells signifies a decisive moment of standing up against the abuse. It is a powerful metaphor for refusing to continue living in fear and deciding to confront the abuser or the abusive situation. These quotes about walking on eggshells provide potent insights into the experiences and strategies of victims dealing with abusive situations. They highlight the constant vigilance, fear, and anxiety that characterizes the walking on eggshells phenomenon, while also emphasizing the strength, resilience, and courage it takes to navigate such circumstances. For more inspiration, visit www.carlacorelli.com.